Uh, I don't even know what to even I I don't even know what to even think right now. I mean, this is just wow. Yeah.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Well, this is just big news in general of needing a video on its own right now. Is that, man, it looks like this defense is depleting by the second. But first news to come by when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, free agency on Monday, and it looks like Jake Elliott, the Eagles have freed up $2.492 million in cap space, so they reworked his contract. So that was the first bit of news we got this morning. Secondly, yeah, it looks like Big Play Slay does not want to restructure his contract from what it's telling me. Okay, Diana Rossini put out a tweet saying the Philadelphia Eagles have allowed Darius Slay's agent Drew Rosenthal to seek a trade per sources. The Eagles are still hopeful to find a solution that he remains an Eagle. You potentially could be losing Big Play Slay. So what this whole thing is telling me now is that Slay doesn't want the restructure to free up that money. Okay. Now, I looked at the contract, and I've looked at it a million times the past, obviously the few minutes that I've had before I was making this video. This has to be a trade post-June. It has to be a trade post-June. If you trade him pre-June 1st, okay, it's $22 million in dead cap and only $8 million, and only 3.7 in savings. That's it. So unless there's a team out there that's going to take on a lot of his money, the $17 million that he's going to make, because really, he's a $26 million cap hit this year. $26 million cap hit for Slay this year. It's a little high. If you, man, I can't believe I'm even talking about this. If you trade Slay post-June 1st, you free up $17.5 million, only $8 million dead, which is fine. You still free up that $17.5 million, which would be huge, but leaving a gaping hole, pause, at cornerback. Man, Bradbury's walking, and the potentially Slay could be gone now. This is just, our defense is depleted. Really, that's 12. That's now 12 free agents that the Eagles could lose on defense. I mean, that's just, I've never seen so much of an overhaul of players leaving defensively. Thank God our offense is still intact. But because Howie Roseman is going to, I'm not saying it's a pure rebuild, but I got to say, they're going to go out there and get some affordable free agents that aren't going to have big cap hits like Slay is going to have. $26 million. That's a lot. That is a lot. This is Slay's last year of his contract. So, like I said, this is telling me, okay, that Slay does not want a restructure. I don't know why he wouldn't want a restructure. It's more money up front, so I don't get why, he wouldn't want that. So it looks like if they're allowing the agent and Slay to seek a trade, it means that Slay is weighing his options now. Doesn't want the restructure, and potentially you're losing your whole secondary, really, besides Maddox. And, pretty much. Epps is gone. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is one that I'm kind of looking at now to say, well, if they make this trade and they can make this deal with Chauncey, I guess it would make sense. I guess they would try to re-sign him back. But they might, I'm not saying they're hitting the reset button. I think they want to reset some of these contracts that they have put out the past few years. They kind of want to reset and sign some free agents, some affordable free agents, and obviously they're not paying some guys big money. But they're freeing up little contracts. The Brett Toth release was $1 million. Jake Elliott was, $2.5 million. Slay post June would be over $17 million. And obviously the Kelsey restructure was $2.4 million. So obviously Lane Johnson would be another 10 to 12 million, whatever it is. I don't know what they're doing here. This is part on Slay to want this to happen, I guess. The Eagles are hoping he comes back. So maybe, from what it's telling me, this is all on Slay not wanting a restructure at the end of the day. And yeah, this kind of sucks. As much as there are fans out there that actually might be happy about this, because a lot of fans think that Slay didn't play up to par last year. But part of me says that it was part of Gannon's system, not playing press on enough of these wide receivers, letting these receivers really go 100% full speed at you, and mostly reacting as a cornerback last year, which I really didn't like. But Slay did give up some receptions, and Slay wasn't shadowing number one receivers, as Gannon didn't really put him on number one receivers late in the year, making late adjustments or even no adjustments at all. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just hitting the reset button a little bit on these positions. And because of the cap hit being so big and Slay doesn't want the restructure, hopefully there's a team out there that's going to take on that money. And what picks are you going to get for Slay? I don't know, but I think this is Howie's way of kind of trying to get some of these mid-round picks back. If they're able to get a high pick for him, I don't know what, Slay, I don't know what his market's going to be when it comes to draft compensation if you have him in a trade, but you better get something good for him for this year and next year's draft. If it's a pick for this year and a pick for next year in 24, I have no issue with it, but obviously, yeah, this one's going to burn a little bit because you literally have no defense now. I mean, you literally have nobody left. You have nobody left. You know what I mean? Obviously, the only rumors we've heard so far of a re-signing is really Brandon Graham on a possible $11 million for 2 years, $5.5 million a year, because Graham doesn't want to go anywhere else. And obviously, this could be pointing towards Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to get his contract with Philadelphia. Okay, Chauncey was seen on Twitch last night. He was playing Grand Theft Auto, and he was actually wearing Eagles gear last night on his Twitch stream, which is kind of nuts. So possibly there could be a rework deal with him, but man, do you have your work cut out for you for this defense come free agency and the draft. This is going to be tough to lose Slay. You lose, your number one cornerback of your roster now, and all you have is an offense that's intact now with 12 free agents on your defense. I would never even expect this at all. This came out, obviously, a good, reliable source. This isn't third party, but, it's going to be tough, man, of what the Eagles are going to have answers to do this. So I don't get if Eagles really want him to stay this badly, and if a player and an agent and Drew Rothenhaus called the Eagles and said, look, we're looking to seek a trade, we're trying to find some other options. That means Slay doesn't want to be here. That means Slay doesn't want the restructure. I don't know if it's him necessarily not wanting to be here, but he doesn't want the restructure. I think that's what it is. Remember after our Super Bowl in 17 when players were agreed to do restructures and help this team? And, he probably doesn't. I don't know. I thought restructures were good for players because they had more of that guaranteed money up front, I guess. This is the last year of his deal, so this one... this one's a little crazy right now. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think that a trade will get done? Do you think the Eagles are in big trouble with Slay leaving? Or do you think Howie's kind of hitting the reset button if Slay leaves? And this is not Howie's decision. I think this is on Slay and his agent. And obviously the Slay isn't talking to the Eagles. His agent is talking to the Eagles of possibly what's going to be good for him. And You can get some possible draft compensation. Quez Watkins, there was real rumors about him getting traded. There was been a lot of rumors. Like the Eagles don't have 4th, 5th, 6th round picks this year in this draft. So the Eagles might want to try to get some draft compensation if it's possible. Losing Slay would definitely be big. I mean, it's already enough. I mean, he's not enough. You know what I mean? Your defense is totally depleted right now. The Eagles' defense is now 12 free agents. Or 12, not 12 free agents, but 12, you're losing 12 guys to your defense. You're losing 12 players, which is probably the most I've ever seen gone from a team ever. And it's going to be interesting to see what draft compensation they get. But when I look at the contract, guys, it's got to be after June because you're not getting anything pre-June, a pre-June trade. It's way too much money. It's way, way too much money. $22 million in dead cap is way too much. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what – this isn't on Roseman. This is on Slay and his agent seeking other options. This is what it is. And I don't know. So you guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It should be interesting. But, yeah, this is kind of nuts. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up. Follow us. Peace out, guys. It's going to be a crazy offseason. Peace out.